I am a huge fan of the Predator. In fact, I like the Predator even more than the Alien. I still love the aliens, they're like my two favorite sci-fi creatures, but the Predator has always been my favorite. And now we get Predator Badlands, the first PG-13 Predator movie. Is it worthy of the Predator name, or did Disney just Disneyfy this R-rated property? Let's find out. Our main predator of the movie is named Deck, and he is a younger predator. He's the underdog of the predators, he's considered the runt of his family, and he has to prove himself to his clan or else die. And he tries to prove himself by going to the most dangerous planet he knows of to kill this even more vicious creature. A creature so horrifying that even the most experienced of predators are terrified of it. And I actually found him to be really engaging. Not only that, but I found myself rooting for him. This is not only a clever plot device for a Predator movie, but it shows a side to these predators that we have never seen before. I also like the action. The action was always interesting and exciting, and you genuinely wanted to know how he was going to take some of these big creatures down without any guns and just his stabbing weapons. Now the PG-13 rating, we were all suspicious of it, seeing as Disney are the ones behind this movie. Some people were saying that it doesn't matter, but come on, it's Disney we're talking about. Of course it matters. I will say though, that they do have a legitimate story reason as to why there are no humans in the film and only synthetics, but it still felt like they were holding back with the violence. A lot of times the Predator would do quick stabs with his weapons and we would rarely see his blade come out the other end. That's a classic PG-13 move right there, and we wouldn't even get that much white blood from the synthetics, and these things usually bleed profusely. Also, we have seen aliens have red blood before, just look at video games, just look at certain movies. So it's not like they couldn't have given these aliens red blood, and that actually would have made the movie feel even more violent because we are just more sensitive towards red blood, and it would have been believable. But it's clear that they were like, let's just try to make the blood any other color except for red. That way we'll definitely secure a PG-13. So they were still cutting corners wherever they could to get a PG-13. But honestly, the violence is not really the thing that bothered me with the PG-13. Quite frankly, there were other more notable ways they were getting a PG-13, which we will discuss in a bit. Something else I liked is that the predators are much more expressive in this movie, and they give them much more emotions, and that's down to a combination of CGI and practical effects. That being said, I'm still not a fan of their skin texture. I said this on my Predator Badlands trailer reactions over on my Patreon, and I'm saying the same thing now. I think the Predator's forehead in this movie looks more like plastic rather than real skin like they had in the previous films. And overall, I do see this as a downgrade. I also love this alien world they built as well, where literally everything tries to kill you. And the CGI they used to bring this world to life was great. When the CGI was relating to the Predators, it did get wonky sometimes, especially earlier on in the film. The Predator's CG double was pretty obvious. Now, it's time to go back to that PG-13 rating. Like I said, the violence is not the thing that bothered me with the PG-13 rating. What bothered me was the tone, and the first place where this reared its ugly head was the synthetic played by Elle Fanning. Prior to her showing up, this movie felt like a silent film where the only dialogue was with subtitles, almost like that show Primal from Jendy Tartakovsky, and I was really digging it. But when she showed up, it turned into a comedy. She was cracking jokes left and right, none of them were funny, and she was acting less like a synthetic and more like every Disney and Pixar comic relief sidekick. And I do mean Disney and Pixar, because the only thing she didn't do was break into song, and the humor did not fit. It's a mix of Disney Pixar humor and shitty Marvel humor. What those kinds of jokes are doing in a Predator movie is beyond me. And even mainstream audiences are fed up with Marvel's humor, so to put it in a Predator movie is nothing short of idiocy. Contrary to what many people think, the R rating is not just used to make a movie more violent, but it is also used to prevent it from being used for toy tie-ins. That's why Logan didn't have any gigantic samurais or cute sidekicks when it got an R. And seeing as this Predator is PG-13, you have some very obvious merchandising opportunities in this film. Now they don't show you in the trailer, but there is a cute little animal sidekick that joins the Predator in this film, and it comes with its own Pixar humor. One of the humorous bits left me jaw-dropped. It takes place around a campfire where the Predator notices that the creature is copying everything he does, and this felt like it was straight out of a G-rated Disney cartoon. And they give this thing a bunch of childish Pixar humor with him copying what the Predator does and the Predator getting annoyed, and they even give it some cutesy moments as well, and one scene that even parodies the Predator spine rip move. Now later on they tie this thing back to the plot, but it doesn't matter. They could have done that without giving it all those signature Pixar comedy bits. So those are my biggest problems. I am less disappointed that the R rating didn't give us red blood, as I am that it gave us this Disney Marvel comic relief and a Pixar sidekick. And my final problem is that although he gets help, I think the journey wasn't as tough for this predator as it should have been. Especially when the other predators are terrified of this planet, you'd expect it to be harder for him to conquer. I get that the predator is trying to earn his stripes, but I think it came too easily for him. So overall, I liked this Predator film. It definitely had its problems, the worst of which being the Disneyfication of the film, but the story was simple and easy to follow, the Alien crossover was smartly done with the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and we got a badass Predator film where the Predator is the main character for once. So my score for Predator Badlands is a 7 out of 10. The only other thing I'll say is that as good a time as I had, the film is very forgettable. As I was making my way back home from the theatre, it was already leaving me. The film also has a cliffhanger, and although I am interested to see what happens next, it did feel very cheaply executed. The best way I can describe is that it felt like the kind of cliffhanger you would get to a TV show that wasn't gonna get another season. There are still improvements to be made, and I hope Disney don't push to make even more PG-13 Predator films after this, but as a one-off PG-13 Predator film, I'm just about willing to give it a pass. But I hope Disney don't go all corporate with it after this. The Predator is still predominantly an R-rated franchise, and I hope Disney keep it that way. And as long as you know what you're getting into, I can definitely recommend it. So, did you see Predator Badlands? If so, what did you think about it? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell right next to it, and if you want additional content, then be sure to head on over to my Patreon, where you can gain access to trailer reactions, early access to Versus videos, and you can also join my private Discord server. Thanks very much for watching everyone, and I will catch all of you very soon. Take care.